Decimal fractions, fractional writing of decimal numbers. Chapter 10 on the page 57. The objectives of this lesson. At the end of this chapter I will be able to recognize a decimal fraction. So إذا هو بيعطيني فرضا any fraction بدي صير أعرف if this fraction is a decimal fraction or not. In this example, this is not a decimal fraction, it's non-decimal fraction, but this fraction is decimal fraction, and we will see why we said that. Write a decimal fraction in the form of a fraction whose denominator is power of 10. راح نتعرف شو هن ال powers of 10. So إذا أنا عندي for example 2 over 5, this is a fraction بدي أكتبه as a decimal fraction. Decimal fraction, the denominator is power of 10. So in this case بدي يكون 5 بدي أعملها 10, so we multiply 5 by 2, it's 10, and then we multiply 2 by 2 is 4. So 4 over 10 is a decimal fraction. Write the decimal fraction in the form of a decimal number. So this decimal fraction could be written as a decimal number with a decimal point. So this fraction could be written as 0.4. 0.4 is a decimal number. So, and then vice versa, that means a decimal number could be written as a decimal fraction. So these are the objectives of this lesson. First of all, let's make some revision for the fractions. What do we mean by a fraction? A fraction is the number of parts out of all the numbers. That means, in this example, the fraction that represents the blue squares is. So, how many blue squares do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, and 4 blue squares. So we put 4 at the upper side, so it's the number of parts. So we have 4 blue squares out of the total number of parts, which is 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. It's all the number of parts, which is 9. So this is the fraction. It represents the blue squares out of the total number of the squares. 4 is called the numerator of the fraction, and 9 is the denominator of the fraction. And we could read this fraction as 4 nines. And then we could have these fractions 1/2, 1/3, 1/4, 1/5, etc. So the activity of this lesson: 5 children went on a sea trip. Each had a fraction A over B on his bathing suit. فإذا في عندي هون 5 children وبدهم يعملوا هيدي الرحلة البحرية، وكل واحد منهم عنده fraction على كنزته. تمام. So to take a boat، حتى يقدر انه هيدا الشخص ياخد one of these boats, they should respect the rules of the game. فإذا there's a rule for this game which is given below. In order to get a boat, we must find first the quotient of A by B. So first of all, we have to divide A by B. A divided by B, it equals to the quotient. The answer of the division is called the quotient. So, and then if Q times B equals A, then he takes the boat. If Q times B different from A, so he cannot take the boat. So راح نقسم A على B, and then راح يطلع عندي الكوشنت بدي اضربه بالB او بالdenominator of this fraction. لازم يطلع عندي numerator او يطلع عندي A numerator او A. If it equals, so it takes a boat. So let's fill this table. هو أعطاني أول example. فإذا 1 over 5. The quotient of 1 by 5, 1 divided by 5 is 0.2. And then 0.2 is multiplied by b, by the quotient, by the denominator b. Then 0.2 times 5, it equals exactly to 1. Then the child will take the boat having the number 0.2. So we will fill the table by the same manner. So 45 divided by 6 is 0.75 and the division terminates. فإذا تخلص عملية القسمة بيطلع عندي 2 decimal digits. And then 0.75 is multiplied by 60 and the product is 45. So it equals A. Yes, on Q times B equal A. So this child having this fraction will take the boat having the number 0.75. And then 27 over 3. 27 divided by 3 is 9. And then 9 times 3 is 27. So yes, it equals A, and he takes or she takes the boat having the number 9. 7 over 33. 7 divided by 33, which is 0.212121. Okay, it does not terminate. وراح يكون في عندي بعد more than these digits. So أنا راح أوقف just and the 5th decimal digit. And then we have to multiply 0.2121 times 33, and the answer is 6.9993, which is does not equal to A. So بنلاحظ هون إنه the product of Q times B, it does not equal A, so he cannot or she cannot take the boat. The last example, 34 divided by 125, and the quotient is 0.272, 272 thousandth. So, and then we have to multiply this quotient by 125, and the quotient, the product is exactly 34, so it equals to A. Then he or she could take the boat having this number. And then one of the children will not go on the trip. Which one? It's the child that having this fraction 7 over 33. Why? Because Q times B different from A. بين عندي هون إنه 0.2121 times 33 is 6.9993, which is different from 7. So he cannot take the boat under the conditions given above. So إذا أنا بلاحظ in this slide اللي بين عندي إنه if we divide a number by another, بنلاحظ هون the quotient could be exact quotient, يعني the division terminates. This is an exact quotient, this is an exact quotient, this is not exact quotient, and the division do not terminate. عملية القسمة ما بتنتهي، بعد في عندي 2 1 2 1 2 1, and then here the quotient is exact. فإذا لما نيجي نقسم numerator على denominator عندي two possibilities, or the quotient is exact or the quotient is not exact. مثل ما بين عندي هون the quotient is not exact. Or we could say that the division terminates أما هون the division does not terminate. عملية القسمة ما بتنتهي وبعد بقدر بكمل بحط 2 1 2 1. And then what is an equal fraction? To have an equal fraction we have to multiply both terms by the same factor. So 1 over 5 بدي الاقي equal fraction لإله, so راح اضرب ال 5 times 2, and then we have to multiply the numerator by the same factor, which is 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. فإذا بضرب both terms, بضرب أطراف هيدا الفراكشن by the same number. ضربنا فوق تحت ب number 2. So we have 2 over 10. Then 2 over 10 is an equal or equivalent with 1 over 5. These fractions are equal. And we could divide both terms by a common divisor. So if we have 16 over 12, we could divide both terms, 16 and 12, could be divided by a common divisor, which is 2, or ممكن نقسمهم على 4. So 16 divided by 2 is 8, and 12 divided by 2 is 6.